Welcome to Bay Rats and Buoys with your host, Captain Gaige.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. This is episode 29, season 2, brought to you in part by Cito Huntington. Are you a member? Visit Cito.com to join today. And the Long Island Fisherman. Head over to Long Island Fisherman now and get your subscription to my favorite magazine. And Clicks Fueling. Visit clicksfueling.com. What is up? I can't believe I'm finally sitting in the sun on my boat, making the podcast for season 2. Nothing better. Having a great day out here. We're going to go fishing this afternoon. So as soon as I'm done recording this podcast, I am going fishing. So there's a good chance this podcast gets up a little later than 6 o'clock. I do apologize for that. You know, I try to stick to that 6 o'clock schedule. I'm seeing Rich shoot down the dock now. I got to go see him at the fuel dock and fuel up. We've been out a couple of days so far this week, and the fishing has been lights out. I mean, Monday we got on some really nice, fat 38-inch bass. And the good news is you don't just have to troll for them. I mean, we were getting them yesterday with gold flutter spoons. Was crushing it, and it was nonstop action. It was a smaller body of fish than I saw on Monday, but I did see, and you'll see it here on the some of the pictures that I'll put up of the sonar, we did see some really nice schools of fish here. So it's real nice to see. The bait is here. I mean, they were even tailing on the top of the water. There was so much going on. There's so much life out there right now. The birds were working. The fish were tailing on top. I mean, I can't describe it any better than that to you guys. You all know what I'm talking about if you get out there. All the guys in my marina here are all, the buzz is out. You know, the buzz is here. The fish are in. Let's go. So you'll see posts on Facebook every day or so. I'll put up pictures today from today's bass. We put up pictures from yesterday with Dylan and Shelly. And Monday, me and Kory were out, and I'll be out tomorrow with an ISM trip. So that's pretty awesome. Speaking of ISM, we had a very successful first event, the executive networking event over at Hika Castle. And I recorded 6 podcasts with different executive owners of companies, and it was great. It was a great turnout. Awesome. So you'll check those out on Facebook as well if you want to see some really cool interviews. And you'll see them in a lot of the Long Island business groups that I do follow. So that's my ISM thing. But back to fishing. So lots happening. We got the tournament going down Sunday, June 22nd. And now's a great time. You're going to see ads in the Fisherman magazine. So you'll scan the QR code, head over to the page for striped bass, invitational.com, and register your boat and get in on Huntington's hottest striped bass fishing tournament. This is going to be epic. The buzz around my marina here is great. Guys are coming over to me every day. And you know what? I'm not going to drop any names here in the marina because you guys all know who I'm talking about. So I don't want to leave anybody out. And there are so many names to drop. So I'm just going to talk about you guys as a group and a whole. But you know who you are, that you talk to me down here every day. And I see you guys very often. So it's awesome. And glad to see everybody's boats back in the water. And the fish are here. And we're on them. The water temperature right now was 55 degrees yesterday out in the Long Island Sound. So it's at the perfect, and they were chewing. They are chewing. I mean, the first 5 minutes of yesterday's charter, I dropped out 2 chartreuse mojos, and I had 2 fish on in 5 minutes. So when that bite happens that quickly, these fish are chewing. They're seeing it, they're hitting it, and they're feeding. So that's a really good sign. And then once I found them stacked up, trolling rods come in, and we drop down flutter spoons, jigs, vibes, you name it, mini mojos, you name it, we're getting it down there in front of them, and it was working. So we were bringing in some real nice fish, and we were doing it on light tackle, which is a ton of fun. It really was. I mean, there was a time yesterday where I thought I was getting spooled, and it was a decent-sized fish. And they're feeding, they're fat. So some guys are cutting them open and keeping them. Some of them have manta, shrimp. Some of them have bunker. You're going to see them on herring. And there's a ton of life out there right now. So there's a good chance to get out there. You're going to see some birds working. I saw it later in the day. It was more on the ebb tide. So the bite has been better on the ebb tide. And I could tell you that from the past few days out. I mean, we've fished 2 tide cycles just to keep track of what's going on and what's happening and where they are. And they're here. You're going to have no problem finding them when you get out there. Just go out to your normal spots. They're here. And we did put some new electronics on the boat, so it wasn't like cheating, but it was definitely a little easier to find them. And that made it a little more fun because we were like little kids in a candy store. Any of you guys know with any of the technology, it's always nice to upgrade. I mean, geez, I just upgraded from the iPhone 12. And the reason I did it is because I had the free upgrade with my carrier. And I figured, why not? Every few years I do it, and it's like, wow, they're already at 16. They're going to be at 17, 18 before you know it. So I was like, I'm due for the new camera. I'm taking good pictures on the boat. You know, I'm running a GoPro right now, so I'm not even using the camera that I was using at the boat show and in the studio for the podcast, the newer camera. So I'm running the GoPro right now on the boat just to keep it simple today. And because, again, I just brought the rods down to the boat, and boat's all clean and ready from yesterday. So when I leave the boat, like yesterday we went out, we caught a ton of bass. I want to say we caught over a dozen bass on yesterday's trip, and it was just 2 people, so it was really a lot of fun. They were tired. They were tired reeling them in. It was great. When you get tired reeling in fish, then the captain did his job. At least that's how I feel. That's awesome. I'm like, you guys are shot, right? You want to reel in another 38-incher, 35-incher? Let's go. So we're hoping to get on some really big fish today, and we're only going to be using a flutter spoon, so I won't be trolling today. So when I go out with experienced fishermen, there's a lot of times we go out, we're going to go out and target them on top water and with the flutter spoons and different jigging techniques. And I mean, if I see the bunker out there, I'll throw the cast net. We'll have live bunker, we'll live line, we'll chunk, we'll do a few of those things. But usually we're ready to do anything. So when I get out here, I'm going to be set for battle, for top water. If I see them tailing today, now the only reason I didn't throw into them myself yesterday when I saw them tailing, and there was some big, whatever it was big and splashing around, unbelievable, to the point where it happened 3 times throughout the afternoon. And it was a big tail. It was big. Whatever it was real big. So that was nice to see. But I didn't throw into it. I was letting Dylan and Shelly do their thing and catch their fish. I didn't want to interrupt and pull up lines and run over there and throw into it, especially when I have inexperienced fishermen on the boat, people that don't fish often. I'll stick to the techniques that are working and getting them on fish. So if I have experienced anglers on the boat, then it's a game changer. You know what I mean? It's really good. But again, you know, safety's, you know, you always got to worry about safety. So safety first. And me and Kenny are going to be out there today. And we're definitely, he's a flutter spoon king. He's like so addicted. And a lot of you guys know Kenny, so you'll see him in the pictures and the videos. He was on the cover of last week's episode 28 thumbnail, which was the image that went up on YouTube. So, and on Facebook as well. So the thumbnail was Kenny in the picture, holding up one of his trophies on Sand City. He's caught hundreds of striped bass on this boat. It's his good luck boat, and we're a good team. And he's going to be out there for the tournament. He's going to be on another boat. So I said, uh-oh, we got a ringer. And he said, no. He said, I have to be on your boat to catch the fish that I catch. And I said, you do not, you know. So he's got, his buddy has a boat on the South Shore and on the North Shore. So his buddy was first. He was real quick to sign up for the tournament, which we're very grateful for. And, again, the sponsorships, you know, if you guys are interested, own a business locally and want to get involved and want to get a lot of exposure, this tournament has a nice buzz going on about it. It's getting a good vibe, very competitive spirit here in Huntington, which is great to see. And a lot of the shops that I'm talking to are all behind it. And, you know, again, a big shout-out to Matt at J&M Seafood for being the grand prize sponsor, M&G Marine. We got a whole, I mean, I could just keep going on. The list is there on the website, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but M&G Marine had just installed the electronics and, you know, really did the tuning on the boat and he does all my normal stuff, all my normal maintenance. And then Then outside of M&G Marine, I did give Keith over at Yamaha Britannia Yachting Center a big plug and a big shout-out in last week's episode. And I will continue to do that because that's just who I am. I support the local shops, just like Sash over there at Whale's Tail. And Phil and Mark, I got to go in and see Phil. I got to drop off an Avid to him. He fixes this Avid for me every year. I mean, geez, those SJXs, the line gets into the side of them. The braid gets into the side of the spool. And Corey's like, I'll fix it. And I'm like, just leave it. I will give it to Phil. Last time I took the screws apart, bing, a screw fell in the office, and that was it. It was gone. How does it disappear? I don't know, but it does because whatever a screw falls off for real, for me, it's in a black hole, and that's it. It's gone. So that's why I won't do it on the boat. I give it to Phil. He's a pro at it, and he will fix it for me, no doubt. But again, we are spooled up. We are ready, and I can't wait to get back out there today and tomorrow. So I hope you guys get out there as well because a lot of people wait and say, I'm going to wait till the bite turns on. I'm just telling you right now, if you're my friend, if you're a charter customer, or if you're new to Sand City and you want to get out, there really is no better time than now. I'm out there every day and I'm staying on them and I'm following them, but there's no better time than right now. I wouldn't wait till May or June for bigger and better fish because they're here. And when they're here, the bite's it's red hot right now. Really is. So get excited. We are booking a lot of charters. Before I left today, I was sending back emails to people that wanted to reserve dates. So I sent them invoices and boom, it's done. It's booked. And it goes that fast. So the dates do go fast. Even my own daughter has a trip for school. And she wants me to chaperone the fishing trip. And they're going out of Captree. And I showed her the calendar this morning. And I said, Leah, it's the only day of the week that is still available. And she's very grateful. So she's hoping I make the lottery of the chaperones. And I usually do. But whether I do or not, they're still going to have a great trip. The kids go out. I got to say, last time that trip, the school trip went out, I was on it for my son's class. They didn't catch a sea robin. I'm not even joking. They didn't catch a bycatch, a sand shark, nothing, a skate, a sea robin, a blowfish. They caught 0 fish for the day. I think somebody reeled in a crab, and it might have been my son. I think somebody reeled in a crab that grabbed the bait, and that was it. And I was just like, wow. I couldn't believe it with that many rods in the water and that much bait on the bottom that somebody didn't hook into anything. That kind of blew me away, and I understand about getting skunked. I do. I get it. It happens. It's fishing. I do. We've all been skunked. We all know what that feeling is like. And I'm happy to tell you guys when we get skunked. If we go out there and we don't catch fish, we're not even embarrassed. It's like, yo, it's fishing. It happens. This year we got, newer technologies, so going into different areas that we didn't normally fish before. Previously, we only had sonar. You had sonar, you had your navigation and whatnot. Now this is, the technology has changed, so. Thank you, Uncle Sam. All that money I spent, he gave me some of it back. So the first thing we did was upgrade the electronics on the boat. And me and Kory were like 2 little kids in a candy store. And I'm happy to share that with you, too. You can probably see the Simrad screen in the background so you know what we're working with. But again, a lot of, Fluke opens up May 4th. So guys are getting ready to get on Fluke and bottom fishing for the porgy. Night fishing for the striped bass. You want to get out there and chunk. The trips are going on. So yeah, I would recommend now's a great time. Don't wait. I wouldn't wait till June and wait for the weather to get warmer. Pick your windows. Pick a nice day. Tomorrow's going to be like 80 degrees. And ISM was like, yo, we got to get a few guys out on the boat. I'm like, what are you waiting for? Why are you going to wait? Let's go tomorrow. So that's it. Just like that. Boom. If there's a day open, we're going. The boat's not sitting here at the dock. This time of the year, we are finding them and having a blast catching them. So Don't forget to register for the tournament. Today's going to be a short episode because I'm going out and getting on the fish. And that's a good thing. I'm so excited to be here on the boat. I almost didn't have power. I almost did not have power. Where I plug into shore power, there was nothing. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Because I didn't bring down my little generator power that I bought for Ward Melville High School because I needed power in the gym. And I was like, wow, I could use this unit anywhere. So it's perfect for me to buy because now I can podcast. Like today's a little windy, and it's wind out of the north, so it's hitting my console right here, which is great. So it's at my back. It's not on the microphone, which is why I'm happy to do what I'm doing here on the boat today. But I'm going to wait for a nice, flat, calm Wednesday or Thursday when I could do the podcast, and I am going to be sitting out there in the middle of the Long Island Sound, and I'm going to have guests with me. So we have guests scheduled, and because everybody was waiting to sit here. They want to be on the boat. They want to come, sit on the boat. They want to do the podcast, and then we're going to go catch some fish. Or we may be out there fishing and then just take a break and do the podcast and talk about what we were just reeling in and what we were doing. We may even be catching them while we're podcasting. I mean, it's going to be an epic season. It really is. We're very excited about it. There's a lot going on. And, I mean, I'm even getting the emails for next year's boat show right now for the New York Boat Show that they were excited to have Bay Rats and Buoys there, and they want us back, and we're talking already, and it's great, and I love it, and I thank you guys. I thank you at the boat show, the National Marine Manufacturers Association, the NMMA. The staff there is phenomenal. And we had a great experience there this year. And we got amazing feedback. So when you get good feedback, like the Ohika event that we have at the Executive Network and the feedback we got from that, from the 6 executives that sat down and podcasted with me, the feedback was phenomenal. Really was. It was exhilarating. You know, it fires you up, wants to get you going. And Bay Rats and Buoys is doing the same thing. And I'm even excited to announce stuff for 2026 that we're working on stuff now because it takes months to put stuff together and get stuff happening to prepare for big things that we're working on. And it's just nice to know that moving forward in the future, there you go, you see the wake, I'm getting a wake. And I love it. And it's, you know, there's 2-footers rolling in here right now. So somebody threw me a nice wake. And maybe you saw them go by in the background. I don't know what you saw. The camera's facing behind me. But I saw them coming in a little hot. You know, I know when a boat's coming in hot. But look at all the boats rocking down here, you know. They don't care. They're in a rush to get into the slip. They're finally here. Or they're coming back in. They don't care. They don't see the harbor master. They're like, I'm flying in. They're definitely going 7 knots on that thing right now easily. Maybe even 8. You can tell when they're pushing white water that they're not doing 5 knots. Very obvious down here. But that's why I'm down here. I love it. I'm going to be down here every day starting I think another 10 days or so. I'll be down here in the marina every day and starting to fill up. It's nice. All the fishing guys are in. You know, all the center consoles come in now. The guys with the bow riders and the cruisers, they'll make their way in. As long as they're happy to be in by Memorial Day. That's usually the big kickoff to the season. And I always say this, and it's come up in conversation just this week alone because things do happen, and boats do need to get towed. And I tell you guys all the time, you're not invincible. Your boat can break down. Things can happen. So even though you're prepared and you did all this preparation, things do happen. Things do happen to boats out there. Mechanical failure, batteries, all kinds of stuff. You run out of fuel. You thought your fuel gauge was working. It's not. And this is why I recommend to everybody to head on over to Cito.com and grab your membership. It's actually important. It's something that you should have. If you're going to go spend $250 on a Yeti cooler and you're going to spend that much money on ice for the season, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the captain that says, hey, I told you so. So head on over to Cito and get your membership and have that peace of mind when you head out there because you will have peace of mind when you head out and you have to make that phone call. There's no shame in getting towed back in. And a lot of people think there is. And, half the time we pull them into the marina, they have a neighbor or a friend that's over there on their boat. And they're like, oh, been there, done that, been there before. It happens often enough, guys. So that's just my personal Captain advice to you to get a membership. So, I'm also going to tell you to register your boat for the tournament because it's going to fill up real fast. And I'm thinking by June 1st, by that time, we'll have a really good idea of how many participants are competing in the tournament. And, we're ordering a ton of stuff right now. So between shirts and the buckets and products, Tony Maja just sent out a package to me. And we were using one of the Tony Maja rods on Monday's video that we will post and make a nice little plug for the Tony Maja product line. And we're excited to get a lot of the new stuff on the boat this year from them. So we're going to show that off in episodes. We'll show that off in our posts. And not only Bay Rats and Buoys, but Sand City Charter. So stay tuned in and check out that good stuff that we will be using and showing off. Love it. And, yeah, we're trying new angles. Yesterday, we're bringing drones out with us. We got tons of GoPros and all this fun stuff on the boat. But we're really trying some new stuff this year. Like, I can't wait to catch the first 50-pounder on Sand City Charter. I am jumping back in the water with this fish. We got all that fun stuff planned. We're going to have fun this season. And to us, that's what it's all about. Really is getting out here and having a good time. And we do. Even if we went out there and just went boating and didn't catch any fish, I can guarantee you that we would still have a great time. And it's a nice bonus when you get out there and you're reeling in fish because you're going out with an experienced crew that knows how to find them and is persistent in finding them. And anybody that knows me, I think a lot of the Google reviews, there were a bunch that said, he'll do anything to get on the fish, and we don't give up, So there are some days it's rougher out there where I'm talking to other captains, and they'll back me up on this. We're talking to one another on the radio or the cell phone, and we're seeing them, but they're not chewing. And, that's usually in correlation to the tide, and it's not always. Sometimes they're biting through the whole incoming, outgo. They're just feeding, which is great. And then some days they're stubborn, they're finicky, and, they're very, they're only hitting one color. Like Monday, they hit, if you saw my fishing report for the Long Island fishermen, that would have went out today. They posted that today. Monday, I was sitting on the boat, and I recorded that report on the boat. And they were hitting on Monday predominantly chartreuse over the white. And we were putting out the two colors literally to test and see which one is going to. If I just put out chartreuse, let's just say I put out just white. And they weren't hitting white because of the clarity of the water or the sun or the clouds. We could strike out. But there's a method to our madness. Like Kenny made a joke today already when he texted me about today's trip. And he's like, gold flutter, I'm dropping a gold flutter spoon first because he was on the boat when we were over them. And we were over a big stack of fish, huge. They were big. They were all like 25, 30-pounders. They were monsters. And the screen was stacked from bottom to top. I was getting messages on Facebook from friends saying, was that screenshot from today? Asking me. And Kenny had a silver flutter spoon in. And he couldn't hook up with a fish to save his life. And he was getting frustrated. I'm like, yo, Kenny, grab the GoPro. We are doubled up here. And he's like, there's no way. He's like, what color are you guys using? And I'm like, gold. And he's like, give me a gold flutter spoon. And that's when we literally went out and stocked up on, all the different colors and testing different stuff. I'm going to try a new one today. I'm going to try a new one that John Gaudio had recommended from the Salt Savages group on Facebook. And I don't shout out a lot of the Facebook groups often here on Bay Rats and Buoys. I will do it a little bit more this season, but I got to get more involved in the groups and see what's going on, to be honest with you. So, and I love John. John's a great admin for that group. And I know he also is a big fan of Cito. He lets me know in all the comments, which, John, we greatly appreciate it. And you had recommended the All-Pro Flutter Spoon to me, and at the Ward Melville show, I picked up a whole bunch of different sizes. I'm going to try the little fat one And I got some new methods to do, even with the regular ones that I was using. So we're trying a whole bunch of stuff. And I love when people recommend stuff for us to do. And somebody recommends, hey, try this, use this. I've reached out to a lot of companies, even from the Ward Melville show, letting them know that, hey, Bay Rats and Buoys has your product. We're going to throw it out there. We're going to test it. We'll let you know how we do on it. And we'll give you some videos, with some results on it. And I still have stuff that I brought to the studio to even to show you guys on the podcast. And it's sitting there on shelves, and it should be on the boat. I got to bring it down, It should be in my, some of the travel bags, because we do like to bring different stuff and try different things. And that's what this season's going to be about. You're going to learn a lot from me and Kory this year, I can tell you that, especially with different products that we use. And to us, that's exciting, because we love doing new things and catching them in new ways. It really is. We don't just get out here and troll all the time, guys. To me, that's it's a little boring. It's not really, to me, it's not fishing. The boat's doing the work, and we're pulling rigs through the fish. That's, and the fish bite, they hook up. It's a lot easier for people on the boat that are novices and put them on some fish right away. And then even after that, we like to see the stacks of them, try to let them jig them up and do it, the conventional way, and, different ways. So that's what we're about here. And it's a lot of fun. Really is. We're excited about all the new gear that we have that we stocked up on last year. Every year we're buying stuff, I told you, in the off season. The off season is when we do all our, getting everything ready, so that now we're here on the boat. I don't have to worry about going and getting stuff. I don't need leader. I don't need any terminal tackle. All that stuff has been taken care of, which is great. Really is. So it makes it more fun when you're prepared. And sometimes your window of opportunity out there, you really need to be prepared before you left, which is something I'm pretty adamant about. Before I leave the dock, my rods are all tied up, ready to go. They really are, because when we get out there, it could turn on in a minute out there. And like yesterday, I know I could have thrown into something very big, some big fish, and I'm hoping I'll see it out there. Something like that happens today with me and Kenny, because now you got two experienced anglers on the boat, and we could throw into it and have the confidence to land it. Or even yesterday, when you have two inexperienced fishing people on the boat and they double up, and I was out there by myself yesterday with them. So, it's a different story than when it's me and Kory. When it's me and Kory, it's easy. I'm driving the boat. He's netting the fish. We're a dynamic duo. And that's it. How long are we going so far? Perfect. Just what I said I would do. I said I'd do a half-an-hour episode today. We're at 27 minutes. And, Rich over at the fuel dock here at Windcote, he's got a boat over there now, so I'm going to wait for – I can actually get behind that boat. I'm going to go fuel up. I need some more gas. And Mike over at Compass Rose, I'll be stopping in to see him tomorrow. So I just love being back down here, even, seeing Chris and the guys over at, where I pick up my lunch, and Dan at the Gold Coast Deli. Now I'm seeing him every day. And, it's like, I don't see these people for 5 months down here. And my studio's the other way, so I don't have to come down here into town and until April when the boat's in the water. And now I'm down here every day. So it's work and pleasure all out of one area. So for me, there's nothing better. Ton of fun. I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in and listens to the podcast. Guys are hooting and hollering from other boats, yelling over to me. And it's a lot of fun. It really is. And Manny, Frank, and, guys outside of my marina, guys that we met at the Ward Melville show and at the boat show. Got guys in Riverdale. And, I don't have everybody's name with me, but at the same time, get in touch, guys. We're going to be going out. You're going to be getting an invite. No doubt about it. So keep in touch. Put me on the speed dial and start shooting some text messages to me, because I'm going to send you an invite to come join me on the boat and head out and come catch some bass, if that's what you want to do. Not everybody likes to catch striped bass. Some guys like to go porgy fishing. Some people like to go fluking. Some people want to target the weak fish. Some people want to target the albies. Some people want to target the tog. Oh, speaking of tog, what a great way to end this episode. Yesterday, the end of tog season, Charles nailed an 11-pounder. And I'm not going to grab my phone and look at it. I'm going to put the picture up here on the screen. And he sent me a picture of it. And he's been persistent on heading out with his green crabs from the shoreline. And, man, when I tell you, he landed a beauty yesterday. He couldn't have closed out tog fishing any better for the springtime. This was a monster. He got a really nice fish. So kudos to Charles. Great job, Charles. Way to stay on it. Definitely can appreciate that. Persistence. I know what it's like. I can't tell you how many times you probably went there and struck out. And what was cool is you had some bycatches, some striped bass in April when the tog season started for you. So that was pretty cool to see, too, that the bass were going after the green crabs, which they always do, you know. That's Willie. Mike Williams. That's Willie's thing. We call him Willie. Radar. Those are my, that's from my golf. That's from my golf people. And the studio. And the Buddhas of the world. So, hopefully you guys tune in every week. We will get this up sometime today. I will definitely not be back by 6 o'clock. So, again, my apologies for this week's episode not being up in time. I do like to get it up Thursday by 6 o'clock. I'm heading out a little later today because the bite has been on the ebb tide. Mid-ebb, it's really been good. And it's going to be real good this afternoon. So, we're going to get out there and get on them. Let you know how we do. We'll be back out here tomorrow and over the weekend. Geez, it starts. We're here, back on the boat. So happy to be here, guys. Captain Gaige, Bay Rats, and Buoys. Head on over to Striped Bass Invitational and register your boat. StripedBassInvitational.com. And you guys know you can get everything that I do over at SandCityCharter.com. I will update the site this weekend and get everything up to par there. And if you're looking to get out on a charter, there is no better time than right now to hit me up and say, hey, let's get out and catch some bass because we will be able to put you on them for sure. And, well, hopefully you don't get skunked. And don't bring a banana on board. I'm just going to tell you that now. So bananas are bad luck. And Kevin just left, and he's got a sign on his boat that says, no bananas on board. I'm like, oh, it's a great sticker. He's like, oh, you want one? I got one. So he gave me one. I got to put it on the boat. Kory asked me the other day, he's like, you don't have any bananas, do you? I'm like, no, dude, I got watermelon. And the cooler is all set up. You guys are going to love it. So the drinks are on the boat. Non-alcoholic beverages. Don't get excited. You know me. I'm a Diet Coke guy. Said there's Diet Coke on the boat. Shelly yesterday, she was excited because she drinks Diet Coke. So it's always nice when I have people to share my Diet Cokes with. I'm willing to share. So, guys, episode 29 is in the books on the boat. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned in every week and come join us here at Sand City Charter. Catch some fish. Captain Gaige signing off. Wishing you guys bent rides, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Over and out.